Hello, welcome to Bren the OK's little YouTube channel. We're gonna start Final Fantasy X today. We'll get started. Just wanted to start on that menu because that's the greatest menu ever of the greatest game ever.
Listen to my story. This may be our last chance.
So that was the intro for the I'm gonna say greatest a lot. This is my favorite game ever, and I normally don't like, you know, talking during dialogue cutscenes or like important moments. So, you know, it is commentary. So I'll try and talk a lot, or talk enough, you know, rather than just sit there silently. But I'm just gonna constantly just praise everything because I think this game is absolutely perfect in every way. I played this game for the first time when I was, well, when it first came out, so I was about 8 years old, touching the millennium.
Can I have your autograph?
Of course.
Now it's Titus, but no, it's Titus. Always called him Titus. I don't care if that's canon or whatever.
Nothing to worry about.
Officially recognized.
Oh,
He's
if I
Titus.
score a goal,
We're gonna call him Titus, okay?
I'll do this. That will mean it was for you, okay? What seat?
He's blocking the front row. Fifth from the right.
Got it.
These Zanarkand girls, man.
Can you sign this?
No prob.
Please?
Alrighty.
Me too.
Take it easy. Well, gotta go. Cheer for me.
2, 3. Teach us how to blitz.
Hey, I got a game to play.
Then teach us after.
Maybe tonight, well,
You can't tonight.
I mean tomorrow.
Promise?
Promise.
I love the Zanarkand kids. So yeah, I mean, where to even begin, right? Where to even begin with Final Fantasy X? It's like I want to say something to everything, and yet when everything is happening for the most part, it's during dialogue, it's during scenes where, you know, you just want to, you're just completely captivated, you know? The music, man. It just doesn't get better than this. So I guess the first thing I'll say is that this game is visionary.
I was in a coffee shop running away from home when I heard the news. Our hero, Jacked,
And you get to
gone,
walk.
vanished into
You don't have to run. You can walk. You can also
My
do
dad
that.
must have been his biggest fan. I knew how sad he'd be. Heck, we all were that day. Zanar, I says to myself, what are you thinking? I went running straight back home. We sat up talking about Jack all night. My dad and I never talked so much. Whoa. Didn't mean to reminisce, folks. Anyway, 10 years later, the Jack Memorial Cup tournament is today. The two teams that have won through to the finals are, of course, the Abes from A East and
Abes
the
from A
Duggles
East
from
and
C
the Duggles
South.
from C South.
I know there's a lot of people out there today to see the star of the Abes.
Yeah, I do want to listen to the whole thing. You know, screw this. This is a long play. This is the last time I do anything like that.
Make way, make way.
We want everything. We want all story.
Hey, I'm gonna be late. Hey, let go of me.
But yeah, just completely visionary, right? Everything about this. I mean, you know, it is a Final Fantasy game, so of course they have a lot of the Final Fantasy asset, world building, you know. They take elements from each game, and so it's not like this is purely original. But this is definitely the most original Final Fantasy game, in my view. I still remember what it was like the first time I ever saw this. Like when I was a kid, I remember how I felt when I saw all this when it was brand new, and it was just, I mean, unbelievable. I mean, first of all, like even these HD cutscenes were absolutely revolutionary at the time. I mean, everything about this game is revolutionary, but then it's also just like, look at this, you know? Yeah, the AIDS. I always imagined I was like on Titus's team. In fact, yeah, I placed myself. I do this a lot with books and games, movies, but especially with games because they're interactive, right? You're part of their world. I always placed myself in it each playthrough, but when I was a kid especially, I was either from Zanarkand, like Titus's brother or friend, and we just both had this situation happen to us. or I was a maester in Spira. It was one or the other. Yeah, I mean the game just opens like that, and you're already like just 10 times more captivated. So I just played 12, still uploading those videos to the channel here, this new channel, and yeah, I'm inevitably gonna make a comparison in my mind, and it's so much more captivating from the start.
What are you doing here?
I was waiting for you.
What are you talking about? Huh?
It begins.
What?
Don't cry.
Yeah, early on, you realize one of the motifs of this game for sure is a dream motif. So
What the?
it gets you started off just right atmospherically, right? That is just, it's just so dreamy. I mean, Zanarkand is dreamy. That was like a dreams moment, not even a sequence, but just like a moment.
Hey, not this way.
Look. We called it sin.
Sin?
Everything has weight to it, you know? Like every bit of dialogue is perfect, so perfectly written, but it just got this large and larger than life aspect to it. We called it sin, you know? It's just like, the line would have worked just as well to say, we call it sin. But for some reason, he says it in past tense, you know? And it just adds the weight to it, you know?
Take it. A gift from Jekt.
My old man?
I hope you know how to use it.
Battle mechanics are
Don't matter. We cut through.
the one thing where it's really just subjective, you know? People have their preferences for whether they like, you know, these turn-based battle systems. At least like talking Final Fantasy, you know, it could be, you know, other series we'd be talking about that use even different mechanics or mechanics that are comparable. But at least in the world of Final Fantasy, you know,
Going after all of them.
it's the one thing.
That matter and run.
It's the one thing you can't look at and go, oh, this is the best, you know, or, you know, it's my favorite, but, you know, if someone likes a real-time battle system over a turn-based battle system, that's just going to be up to them. But other than that, I would argue everything is at the peak form, best of the best, unparalleled. At the very least, in of itself, perfect. Like at the very least, you know. For me personally, though, the turn-based is just perfect, you know. So many reasons, right? It allows you to be completely engrossed in the atmosphere of it all and enjoy every little detail. For me personally, though, I think it really all boils down to like a philosophy. Like what I enjoy most about RPGs and about video games in general is a story aspect.
Wait to die.
I think of them as books or movies, right? Well, especially this one, like an interactive movie. Oh yeah. Let's see if I. This is my game, so I should be able to remember this no problem, even if it's been a while. Down, left, down, right, L, yep, yeah. This is the one game where I think I could go 10 years without playing, and I should absolutely know everything there is to know about it. There's no game I've played more than this. There's no game that I'm more familiar with than this. Maybe Ocarina of Time, like maybe. Well, I guess equally so with Ocarina, but you want to use overdrives as often as possible. In this with Titus, I think just with Titus, they all have different bonuses, but you definitely want to use them with him as soon as you get him. Like, don't even save him. I always used to save him when I was a kid, like it's some big deal. It's like it's not even that, you know, much more powerful than anything. Than any regular attack, a little bit, not substantial. Other people's overdrives maybe are, but you don't have to. You can hold on to them. Well, anyway, what was I saying? The turn-based system. It just works perfectly. That's not even what I was talking about. I forgot what I was talking about. Perfect little tutorial, because you don't realize when you're a first-time player that Demi is just taking a percentage, but it still makes you nervous. You know, you think you're gonna die, but you can't die. Fixed camera angles. It's really nice when the camera angles are absolutely perfect. Oh, wait. What do we want to do? This is my first file ever. I remember that's my first. This is my original memory card, my first file. I think it doesn't really matter if I just pick, like, that's probably good. This is saved purposefully to see that scene. That's okay. You can overwrite that. Because I can just, you know, at any point do that later. So cool. It's like you don't really. I didn't think about it as a kid. It's so obvious though. But that's overpass was the location, and it's like, well, of course this is a highway. This is an overpass. I just never thought of it that way. I thought of it as a walkway for some weird reason.
We're expected.
Huh? Give me a break, man.
Sin Spawner's such a good, there's just so much I could talk about. You know, it's like, for one, I want to talk about the basics of the game, the intro of the game, aspects, you know, themes, whatever. Sin Spawn are the perfect little antagonist, like support antagonist, you know? I love it. There's Sin, there's just so much. It's like, should I just, you know, talk about it as it comes up? I don't know. No, I guess I'll think of it as if you know, it's like your first time playing the game. Although I'd imagine anyone who watches like a long play, especially one with commentary, I feel like they've had to play the game before. Because why do people even watch long play? Why do I watch them? Why do I watch stuff with commentary? Just background noise.
Trust me, you'll see.
Sometimes it's nice to see what other people think of the games. Now, 10 doesn't start off, it doesn't take very long. I mean, Orin's already doing 273 damage, but, yeah. But, you know, it doesn't take long for the characters to start doing, like, crazy amounts of damage. So, unlike 12, they do actually, this is like a higher damage output game, just higher numbers. And that's not a big deal, it doesn't really matter at all, but it is nice when they're really low to start. I always think of that when it comes to Final Fantasy games.
Sure. This is it. This is your story. It all begins here.
I mean, you know, like, see that, for example. So this is the first of its kind. 10 was the first time... I mean, first of all, obviously, it was their PS2 debut. But it was... It was the first time they were able to view, you know, it in full dialogue. It, like, a first time feel like a real movie. And they just did it so right. Like, that scene right there, you know? That scene. They just did it so right. It really just puts you in right away, and it just has that massive feel to it, you know? And you're like, what is this? And yeah, I don't know about the whole thing about spoilers. Like, I don't know, but you know, essentially, this is a special location.
I thought about a lot of things. Like where I was, what I got myself into.
Do
I
spoilers
started
matter?
to feel lightheaded, and then sleepy. I think I had a dream of being alone. I wanted someone, anyone beside me, so I didn't have to feel alone anymore.
It's such a trip to have Titus be in that spot, you know, and like float towards his dad in that little dream on his way. But of course, it was very much not a dream, actually. That's the crazy thing. That's what's so wild about that. But everything is so abstract, and it really gets pieced together over time in the game. And it's just, that's the most perfect, you know, construction and pacing. We don't know it now. Excuse me. We don't know it now, but we are at Baj Temple. Oh, and what's funny is there are a bunch of isolated treasure chests around in this area. I don't really ever go for them. I'm only gonna go for the treasure chests that I know are valuable. I pretty much know most of the things in this game by heart, and so if there's ever a treasure chest, I don't need, you know, that's in any way out of the way, and I go for it, it's because it's somewhat, it's just worth it at the time. The treasure chests around here are, you know, like potions, just like a potion or something. It's like, it's not really that big of a deal, you know. Always save, that's the rule. You could lose power, you could die. I mean, I'll never lose in this game, but anything could happen. Anything could happen. Sorry, here's one here's out of the that's out of the way, but it's like, I mean, come on, you know, it's just right here, and it's probably just a potion or potion times 2. Oh, high potion, yeah, okay. Wow. I had such a funny time pronouncing this fiend's name when I was a kid. What did I call it? I called it something hilarious because it was like basically when I was still, you know, when you're 8, you're into just your first few years of like learning to read, and Final Fantasy has, you know, Latin derivative names and like all these wild names, right? Yeah, and fictitious names and you know, non-standard names of fiends and everything, so it's like you don't know how to pronounce anything. I think I called this thing like just Sauce and Joe or something, something weird like that. Not these fiends, the dude that's gonna pop up. Yeah, Titus is like, oh man, we're ready. Our first real non-tutorial. I mean, is this kind of like a tutorial session? I mean, maybe, kind of, I guess, a little bit. I don't know, whatever. Our first real solo attack was an overkill, which is a good sign of things to come. That is such a good concept in the battle mechanics of this game, though. Man, overkills. Oh, you gotta strive to always get the overkills. You can break this game without even, like, grinding. You can do so well for yourself to nearly break it, to just be, like, kind of OP without even grinding. Just doing just the standard route of, like, fighting everything you run into. By like, focusing on overkilling everything you can. Because it multiplies your earnings, your ability points, your AP, by, I want to say, like, it's like a time and a half sort of deal, you know? Like 1.5. I don't know if it's double or not. It might be double. I should actually know that. I don't really remember. It's either, you know, time and a half or double time. So he halves your, so you think you're about to die for sure, right? Well, I mean, you're absolutely getting wrecked. But I mean, he's just taking it easy on us. I have like a frog in my throat right now. It's really annoying. Perfect time when I'm sitting here talking into a lav mic. Love that. Well, anyway, you know, overkilling, it makes what is otherwise potentially monotonous really fun and exciting. So you're trying to earn that, and there's a reward. Like, there's never a moment in this game, or any perfect game, any game that's just flawless, where you feel like something is being wasted, or there could be something better to it, or
I had made it out of the frying pan,
you know, whatever,
and into the freezer. I thought I was gonna die in this place.
Yeah, just like imagine how you would feel in this situation. I mean, just imagine, right? This would be absolutely ridiculous, right? You're just tossed from what seems like reality. You had never even been outside of Zanarkand, you know? I think of Zanarkand as like almost like New York City, where it's like if you're born there, like in the city, and you got parents who just are like homebodies, like I think of like J.D. Salinger or something like that, the writer. It's just like, you know, where his parents are just like own this flat that they're just like grandfathered in, and they just, you know, it's just their life. They just like live there. You'd have no reason to really leave the city. He doesn't know why he's ever left the city, but it's just this huge city where you could just find new places all the time, even if you've lived there your whole life, right? Well, anyway, that's him in Zanarkand, and then she gets ripped out of there after this dramatic, you know, catastrophic scene of this monster, and all this stuff happens, and then you're just by yourself in the middle of a different, what he doesn't even realize, whether he doesn't even know whether it's a different world or not. You know, it's just like just a totally different place. It's just absolutely wild. Alrighty. Oh, the music just always makes me so happy. I wasn't even really paying attention to where we came in. When I was a kid, I would always mistake which, like that's the one we came in, right? So it's like we go in here. I'm pretty sure. You just have to go into both doors. And I always, as a kid, I was always like, which one is the one where you came from, where you just wind up going backward? So you have Flint. And then, I'm just trying to remember. So I should remember every like little detail, right? But naturally I'm gonna forget a couple things because it's always been years since I played even a favorite game, even a game that I feel like is the back of my hand. Oh, there you go. So okay, that's the one. See, I don't know why. I get it just mixed up sometimes. This isn't the only room. There are other rooms like that. Just wondering if there's like a chest here. Yeah, okay. Thought so. X posters. See, that one's really hidden. That's one I probably played the game like 10 times without ever knowing. Even though it's weird because I'm usually a strat guide kind of kid when I... See, that's another easy one to miss right there. When I was a kid, I usually get strat guides just because I loved them. Like, I just loved books. It wasn't because I needed to. It was just because I just loved them. I loved, you know... But I would take it very seriously. Like, I wouldn't spoil anything. I wouldn't go to the next page and see something until I was there. I mean, I wasn't perfect at it. I would sometimes, Oh wait, hold on. You know what's funny? There's a chest over here too. Isn't there? No? No, really? Thought for sure there was one there. No. Okay, I knew there was one here. I just thought there was one behind the door over there too. Anyway, and these aren't so far out of your way that you just want them. I mean, it's good. But I wasn't perfect at it. I would occasionally look ahead, especially if I was stuck in an area in a particular game. I don't remember ever being stuck in any of the PS2 and onward Final Fantasy games. In fact, I never was. But certainly in 8. I had 8, and I got stuck, and I would look ahead. But anyway, I love strat guides, and I don't know. I think even I got this as a Christmas gift. This game. Thank you, Mom. It's like, how does she even know? It's not like I was like, I want a Final Fantasy. I had no idea what this game was, and she just got it for me on a whim, and I have her to thank for having one of the most influential things in my life. I got the strategy guide with it, and yet didn't really think to. I was just so enraptured with the game. Like, I didn't even think to start using the strategy guide for like location to location basis until, I mean, I would say like Besaid or even Kilika or something like that. So I never even thought about treasure chests in this area.
I need food.
Even though it would obviously tell you.
What do you want?
It was a bad call. Your team lost because of you.
You came to say that?
It's been 10 years. I thought you'd be crying.
Who, me?
You cried.
Hey, wait! Don't go out on me! Just hold on. I'll get more wood. Give me a break!
Is this guy's name Click or something? Yeah, Click. Click. Now, he can actually kill you, but again, you know, it's like quasi-tutorial period where you don't need to heal. I certainly didn't when I was a kid, and they'll just come on in. Or will they? I get... well, I can attack twice. Yeah, there you go. So they just come in. Oh yeah, I haven't even said anything about the most amazing boss music. Just love it. Of course, I love everything about this game. I can go without saying every single time, and yet I'm gonna say it, you know? I'm gonna say, oh, I love this, I love that, I love this. What I want to try to do the best I can is to talk about why. Because that's kind of why I'm even doing this anyway. I want to share my thoughts on why I love these games with anyone who cares. Okay, Grenade. I mean, should I even attack him? I just feel like it'd be a waste of a I mean, we got 10. I just feel like we kill him. I feel like if I attack with Titus and then she does that, he dies. But you know, I just can't remember. No, he lived. So yeah, that was a good call. All right, yeah. He's got a lot of HP, the bugger. Ooh-wee. Well. Miss. So nostalgic, sentimental, and I could just listen to this like victory music, you know, all day. 2 ability spheres. That doubles too when you overkill. So not only AP, but either, you know, 1.5 or 2x. But certainly the item reward you get double. At least at the very, if it's spheres. I'm not sure if it's. I think it's everything that you get.
Phew. That was close. Hey, let me go.
Redek Drak! Ifin, Irisa, Tekiaka! Wag, Edeku! Kemed?
Fed! Trivitek Risa!
Dralnia, Drakisha Tain.
Even Petit, Tapuneket Vedrik. Kuno.
Sorry. And if I can't stress, again, if I can't stress just how masterfully this is conceptualized, realized, written, everything. I mean, he stumbles into a foreign world. You as the audience, there's no like dramatic irony, right? Like you don't even realize that it is literally a foreign world. Like you don't even know that yet. He doesn't know that. And yet the first people he runs into are foreign. You know, that's just so brilliant, right? And it's not contrived in any way. It's like, it couldn't be any other way. It's so perfect because when you have experienced the game, you realize just how much sense it makes for this to have happened. And yeah, and on that note, Albed,
Hey, that hurts.
Usujek, right?
they invented, you know, an ethnic group for this game. They invented a language, you know. It's perfect, man. And I love it so much. I love the Albed.
Right, whatever.
Tui Hud Kabeg?
I said I don't understand.
Rakomala!
Fed! He said you can stay if you make yourself useful.
You understand me? All right, I'll work.
Okay, yeah, first of all, we're going to save. Second of all, there's a primer right here. But we don't need the primers. I am going to cheat. Well, not cheat. I earned it, okay? But I am going to use the, once we run into our first compilation sphere. I think that's what they're called. How has that already been 40 minutes of the recording? That's insane. Yeah.
Sujait! Kadufun et Setedamo!
So it already gives A's, vowels are good. But so yeah, I'm gonna load that once we get it. When you run into your first one, you're able to just load from your memory card all the language. And I'm gonna do that just because it's just enjoyable, you know. Even though it's cool, right? The aspect of like starting a real fresh file, you know. There's an aspect to that, especially in X2, which is a different story. Like save file, or what do we call it, new save data plus or whatever. Anyway, the sphere grid is the greatest level up, upgrade, whatever you want to call it, mechanic, the stat boosting mechanic ever made. It is so unique. It is so cool. Oh, it's just fantastic. It's what truly sets this apart from any other game in terms of like evolving characters, battling, all that stuff, you know, grinding, whatever. It makes it so much fun and so interesting. They just pulled out all the stops for this game. I mean, this game came out and it was revolutionary, changed the world. It was the first of its kind. and they just did everything they could to say, well, it's going to do this, right? It's going to be this thing in history. Well, let's really, like, any great idea we've ever had, let's really try and, you know, put it all to the screen, right? To the silver screen. And whoever came up with the sphere grid, or as a group of guys, and they were like, let's do something really different, and it manifested, or they landed on this idea of getting ability points, not so much XP, but you can think of it as XP, but not just simply leveling up, like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I mean, Final Fantasy games are always rich in that they, in that they, you know, give you nuance to it. It's never just leveling up, like even with X2 where they return to that form. It's not just leveling up. You have garment grids, and you have different ways of building yourself more than just basic accessories. So it is still cool, but, you know, it's funny how you don't even think about it as a kid, but it's funny how this mysterious character, who you're gonna find that she's gonna leave the party, but she has her own area in the sphere grid. So it's like you don't really think about it, but it's like, hello. It's like she has a sense of permanence, right? I mean, maybe you don't think about that. Maybe you think, oh, well, just because she has it now doesn't necessarily mean she's gonna have it or whatever. So, of course, I like to build up as much as I can with the sphere grid, but I also get excited, right? I also get very excited. And especially early on, it's super big. Like this, even though it's only 1 point on all of Titus's, because he's not a big, like, physical, like, basher or whatever you want to call it. But anyway,
We found some ancient ruins right beneath us.
they're big upgrades
It's not active
at
now,
first, so you want to
but
get
there
them
should still be
as
some
fast as
power left.
possible.
We're gonna go down there and activate it. And then we should be able to salvage the big prize.
And this is just what Albeds do, right? They're just like out in the middle of
Okay,
nowhere,
let's get to
in
work.
uncharted territory,
Roger.
salvaging ancient machina. I love it. Man, I need some water so bad. Oh my god, why do I do this every time I sit down? Do without water. This is such a little scary side. I mean, cool, wonderful, but also scary. One of my personal biggest fears ever is just generally, it's not, I mean, technically I guess it's like sub-mechanophobia, but it's like this big chain, right? Dark water, and naturally they were under that ship, right? So, I mean, you couldn't see it because of the fixed cameras, but, you know, there was like a prop to the ship. And just, yeah, this is so scary for me as a kid, this little part. Anyway, we'll use Mystery Girl, Riku, to steal. Well, Titus can take care of the heavy lifting. Accumulate some granadas. See, you can't really control the overkill right now. It has to be a crit. But boy, are they nice. So 3, right? Whereas that Manosphere, well, it's weird because that said 2. That should have been doubled. So maybe I guess that just means the one dropped 1 Manosphere, the other one didn't drop any. But that doesn't make sense because if they drop a sphere, they're dropping it. Or if they're a fiend that drops spheres, they are going to drop a sphere. In fact, don't all fiends just by default drop spheres? It just depends on what, like if it's a speed-oriented fiend to drop. I actually, that's, again, a detail I've never really thought about, but now that I'm like talking into a mic, thinking about like how that works, I'm now thinking about it for the first time ever. I guess I have to pay attention to whether some fiends just don't drop them at all. I mean, I know bosses don't. I know certain kinds of fiends that are more rare or unique don't, but like your everyday feel like a piranha, you know? I don't know. He just bashes it until it's open. It's so funny. No, Titus. Also just the greatest protagonist, you know, the greatest character. He's so wonderful. I think the underwater music, this particular there's a lot of underwater music, but that particular one is one of my favorites because I'm just a big ambient music fan. They lived. Ooh. Got another overkill there. Sometimes you're able to snag another out of them. But you don't get to keep them for later, so you gotta use them. Okay, see how there's 3 speed spheres right there? So that is an example right there, where we got 2 from the one piranha, and just 1 from the other, because they just normally release 1. So I don't know what was up that first battle. Also, they dropped mana. So I think maybe I've never paid attention to the beginning of the game, because I've never really talked about it. But maybe in this unique situation, they just give you random spheres just to help you out, knowing that you're obviously empty on the sphere grid and that you're going to need some help. But then later, like by the time we're like really settled into the story, like Besaid and stuff, and we're going around, it is a predetermined, you know, the fiends drop spheres that correspond with their particular proclivity for stat-wise. Like, so if they're speed-oriented, magic-oriented, whatever. And then ability spheres are just for like the more oddball guys or whatever. Yeah. This guy drops 2 grenades, I'm fairly sure. So I thought we were gonna get overdrive for that. Too bad. Oh, really? Dang. Thought for sure I'd get 2 right away. Okay, see, this is an example. We want to use that right away. We don't even want to wait. Oh my god, I just missed 2. Oh, 700? That? I don't remember it ever being that high. That is beautiful. Wow, that just put what I said earlier to absolute shame. That's embarrassing. Wow. So, sometimes it can be substantially higher. Now, you want to use the trigger command there because it has benefits like healing, but you could also just press triangle. The triangle he wouldn't heal. The trigger command benefits you in some way, like 90% of the time. Ooh, so the question is, do we heal or do we just go for it? I don't know. Let's just go for it. I feel like he's gonna die. Yeah, we knew. We knew. Calculated. But his damage output was sub 100 anyway, so we were fine. Funny how he's kind of even easier than Cleek somehow. But yeah, this music right here changes a little bit from the doo 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 to the bad omen music, the dread music. I wonder why though. I don't know. It's just perfect for the atmosphere. I mean, they make no mistakes with when, I mean, like it just feels right? It would have felt weird if it was still that ambient doo doo music, you know. It just wouldn't have. You'd have been like, nah, the mood changed, you know. there's some things because when I was a kid, when I first played the game, that I just didn't put together because I was so. I mean, there's so much to this game, right? You don't really realize. I mean, if you played for the first time when you were an adult, you would notice. You'd be like, oh, well, I mean, of course, Riku has a line later that says, oh, remember? But if you don't talk to her, of course, you don't. But anyway, there's the ship, and when I was a kid, I saw that, but I wasn't thinking, oh, that's the one later. Like, I was just thinking, I just didn't, I don't know. I certainly the first couple playthroughs, because I was just there's so much to think about, so much to figure out. You know, this game is very heavy, for one, like, emotionally and complicatingly, but also just in general, like, plot things, right? Like, detailed and layered. Yeah, there's just a lot to it. So the last thing I was really thinking about were like little details like that, like when you're watching a movie and you notice, oh, this little detail or that little thing in the background, or you know, you just don't know. To me, that was like how that ship is. I love these Albed carrier ships. So cool.
airship.
And so they give you the word airship because they want you to know that. Well, also Albeds don't. Not every word is, you know, completely foreign. It's like.
Hey, I helped out, didn't I?
It's like how when Japanese people like say, you know, I don't know, like Nintendo or something, even though that's like Famicom or something. I don't know, whatever. But they're like, Doki no Kare Nintendo, you know, whatever. That's like how it is for Albed. So it's not contrived. Anyway, they say airship, and yeah, still didn't notice as a kid that it was the one. Later on, I just didn't think back on it. It seemed like a distant memory at the time. This makes me hungry right now. This always makes me hungry. I want some pasta. Looks like pasta to me.
Hey!
Man, now I gotta make some pasta and garlic bread one of these next few days. Haven't had that in forever.
It's because you eat too fast. Hey!
Hello there. What is your name?
Riku?
Whoa! You really do understand.
And even like the direction from the top down, from the highest thing, the general guidance to just the little things to the characters.
Didn't you say so earlier?
I didn't get a chance.
Music.
Everyone thought we were a fiend.
We?
We?
Oh, we means you.
This music is one of my favorite tracks in the entire game, by the way. But
Who are you guys
the way
anyway?
Titus just like finished the food and he's just like, he's like comfortable, he's at ease. He's like, I feel some stability right now.
Wait, you're not an Albed hater, are you?
I don't even know what an Albed is.
Where are you from?
Zanarkand.
Zanarkand.
I'm a blitzball player. Star player of the Zanarkand Abes.
Did you hit your head or something?
You guys hit me?
Oh, right. Do you remember anything before that?
So I told her everything there was to tell about Zanarkand. About life there, Blitzball, and Sin's attack. And about how Aaron and I were engulfed in this light. I just said things as they came to mind. But then I started to wonder. Did I say something funny?
You were near Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, you'll be better in no time. They say your head gets funny when Sin is near. Maybe you just had some kind of dream?
You mean I'm sick?
Because of Sin's toxin, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, there is no Zanarkand anymore. Sin destroyed it 1,000 years ago. So no one plays blitzball there.
Huh? What do you mean, 1,000 years ago? But I saw Sin attack Zanarkand. You're saying that happened 1,000 years ago? No way!
And when I was a kid, I thought Titus was, you know, from 1,000 years ago, you know. Held on to that theory for a long time, I think. I want to say, like, the first couple times I played it. Just when they figured it out, it wasn't like they were like, oh, yeah, you know, you're not actually from 1,000 years ago. No, they say, you know, it's like abstract, you know. But maybe that was just because
You said
it's a little slow or something.
you play blitzball?
Uh-huh.
You know, you should go to Luca. Someone might know who you are, or you might find someone you recognize.
Luca? Huh.
Okay, leave it to me. I'll get you to Luca. Promise. You'd rather stay here?
Uh-uh.
Okay, I'll go tell the others. Wait here. Oh, and one thing. Don't tell anyone you're from Zanarkand, okay? Yevon says it's a holy place. You might upset someone.
Oh, uh-huh.
And now Bed saying Yevon says it's a holy place.
My Zanarkand? Some kind of holy place? Yeah, right, I thought. Since when? Yevon? Sin? Luca? I thought Sin just took me to a faraway place, that I could go back in a day or two. But 1,000 years into the future?
And that's why. It's that lines like that when I was a kid.
No way!
I was like, yeah, but that was just his misconception.
Whoa, whoa!
And not him not knowing what is going on. And I mean, it takes him a long time to figure it out. Actually, a very long time. I always tried to, you know, I always like to think about what it would feel like to be around Sin, like they call it the toxin. That's like a Yevon term, right? I mean, it's universal, but it's like stems from Yevonism, right? It's more like this. It's like having extra gravity around, or, you know, like I say that because I'm thinking like in Dragon Ball Z, where when they have the gravity turned up in the spaceship, that there's just that like icky feeling. It's like and the things are like vibrating, but not quite that like clear or vivid, but like just that this, it's like it induces brain fog and everything. But however, I also like had this thought when I was younger. I was like, is the toxin even like real? Like, I mean, Titus doesn't really suffer from it. He's like clear-minded, you know. But people often have it, of course. It's not fake, but it just doesn't really affect him. Even though everyone else is like, oh, you must be completely freaking loaded with toxin, right? Because you're out of your mind. But anyway, still, you get around him and things do get foggy and weird, and it's like,
Riku!
just imagine like these little specks like in the air, you know. Like locusts, but like mental locusts. Blitzball.
You okay?
Hey!
The physics of blitzballs are so wild, and again, I love it. So otherworldly. Can you go over here right now? I don't think you can. I mean, that would be kind of preposterous. Oh, no, you can. Yep, you just can. You can just go over here and just get this, what is it, like a Saturn crest or Jupiter crest or Moon crest, yeah. That's like a super crazy key item, and you can just go over there. And that's the last thing you would ever think to do when you're first playing the game, or even in the first few playthroughs, really. But then one day you go, oh, you know, that's just accessible right there. Like, who is this guy just washed up from the middle of the ocean?
Hiya.
You wanna try that move one more time?
Finally. Things were starting to look up.
You know, amateur. Who you play for? So, yeah, he's clearly a pro, man. Like, look at him. I mean, I guess there's Wanderers and Spear that are, like, just really good, but they're not, like, on a team or anything, but, you know.
You know, amateur. Who you play for?
The Zanarkand Abes.
What team you say again?
I meant, forget that. I got too, close to Sin, and my head's all foggy like. So, I don't know where this place is, or even where I came from.
Sin's toxin got to you, but you're still alive. Praise be to Yevon. All right, back to practice. I'm Waka, coach and captain of the Besaid Oryx, brother. What, you hungry? Okay, back to the village. I'll get you something.
Do I want to go over here and check something? I don't know if it's really worth it. No, I guess I'm already there, so might as well. Here we go. I guess I'm just a sucker for, I don't know. I'm a sucker for treasure chests when I know they're there. I said, oh, I'm not going to go and get all the chests. You know, I'm only going to get the ones that matter, and then here I am already. I mean, I certainly don't remember what's in every chest. I just remember what's in the memorable chests. I need water right now. Oh, my God.
I felt like I could trust this Waka, so I just had to ask. It's true Zanarkand was destroyed, right? 1,000 years ago? So it's just a big pile of rubble now, isn't it?
Long time ago, there were a whole lot of cities in Spira. Big cities with machina, machines to run them. People played all day and let the machina do the work. And then, well, take a look. Sin came and destroyed the machina cities. And Zanarkand along with him. Yeah, that was about 1,000 years ago. Just like you said. If you ask me, Sin's our punishment for letting things get out of hand. What gets me, though, is we gotta suffer because of what some goofballs did way back when. Of course, we must always repent for our sins. That's important. It's just that it's hard to keep at it sometimes, you know?
It was just as Riku said. Waka and Riku couldn't both be lying. Why would they?
Another favorite, another favorite music track.
Dave's, that was a good one, huh? Hey, I'm not saying that team never existed, yeah? But you gotta figure, a team living in luxury like that be pretty soft, eh?
I appreciated the fact that Waka was trying to cheer me up. But at that time, all I could think about was everything that happened to me. All this started with Sin. Maybe if I could find Sin one more time, I could go home. For now, I just live life until that time came. No more worrying about where or when I was. Sure, it was hard not to think of home, but I started to feel better already. A little better, maybe.
And the writing, we'll call it the screenplay of the game is so perfect that it's all, you know, his, well, you know, his memoir, basically. It's
Hey,
like,
it's this way.
it's like, oh, let's go this way. Come on, let's go the right way. Oh yeah, by the way, this is obviously the OG version of the game. This is recorded on my PS2, and it is in standard definition. You know, I have this little thing that like force upscales it to 720, but it's not real 720.
What's the big
It just
idea?
de-interlaces it. Anyway, it's my own unique aspect ratio because I'm playing it on my tube TV, which of course would be 4:3, or 133 for the informed. So I just stretch it a little bit to where it's not gonna like mess with it, you know, like on the YouTube video that you're seeing. It's not quite 4:3. It's a little wider than that, but it still retains, like, it doesn't stretch the characters or anything. So I found this happy medium. But yeah, it is still standard definition. Like, it's not HD. But this is the way the game ought to be played, in my opinion. I do this because I would never play the HD version. It's just hot garbage. Not only because they change things and it goes against my fundamental beliefs about like art in general, but that's kind of an aside. The HD like is like it's not just about, when it comes to the HD version of this game, it's not just about I thought there was a chest over there. It's not just about like my preference for things not being changed. It's also about how the fact that with the graphics they completely ruined them. Like, more so from like an objective standpoint, they made them look crappier. They look way better in this, and that's coming from the perspective of someone who, you know, is a creative person, is an artist, whatever, and they just look like crap. Like, I've seen them, like the character models, and it's just, it's like, why, you know, whatever. I mean, they just had to like go and redesign. I mean, that's where one is right here. But they just had to go and redesign all these things because, of course, they're like going to release it in 1080. They're going to HD it up, and they can't take the same character models, the models in general. Like, they can't take all the same graphics and just magically make them sharper. So they felt like they had to do something. But it's like, I don't disagree with the idea. It's just never happened before, what I'm about to say. But I don't disagree with the idea of like just re-releasing a game to modern platforms so people can play it. I think that's beautiful. I think that'd be great. Yeah, I'm a purist. Yeah, I like just playing on my PS2 and, you know, the way it was originally played, including even down to the controller, like the detail like that. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with them re-releasing a game. The fact is, that's never happened before. Every time they re-release a game, or at least I can't think of an example. Every time they re-release a game, they redesign it, and I just don't believe in that. The PS2 is the best. It's the best game of all time. It's a disgrace to like change something so fundamental, you know, something so pivotal and integral to video game history, to art, you know.
You want me on your team, right?
So yeah, like, how'd you know?
A major blitz tournament's coming up. All the teams in Spira will be there. It's so huge, I'm sure someone there will recognize you. Then you can go back to your old team, right? It'll be fun. What do you say, huh? Come on, come on.
Come on.
Sure thing.
Voice of Waka is actually,
Our team is gonna rock, eh?
of course, when I was a kid, I recognized it right away when I first ever heard Bender's voice, but DiMaggio, the famous voice actor, he was just a legend. He's just in everything.
Two things that Spira and Zanarkand had in common. I wasn't too far off either.
And it's weird Titus saying that, right? It's like, oh, I thought Titus and Sin, jeez. Thought Blitzball and Sin, and it's like he just was introduced to Sin. It's like you just saw him for a brief moment, right? It's like it wasn't a part of Zanarkand until just
This
that
is
moment.
where I was born. I started Blitz when I was 5. I joined the Aurochs at 13, 10 years ago. 10 years. And we never won a game. Well, after last year's tournament, I quit. Time seemed right. So, after quitting, I got this new job, yeah? But every time my mind wandered, I thought about the game.
10 years without a single win will do that.
My first match last year was my big chance. But something else was on my mind. I couldn't focus.
Nice excuse.
Hey, hey!
So, you want to win the next tournament? Go out with a bang. So, what's our goal?
I don't care how we do. Long as we play our best. If we give it our all, I can walk away happy.
No. If I say, what's our goal? You say, victory! When you play in a blitzball tournament, you play to win.
Victory? You're serious?
He's like, bro, you don't understand how bad our team is, though. So it's just like, well, I'm amazing, so I'm an all Zanarkandian.
Ah, the one from the sea.
Be on guard. There are fiends on the road today.
After surviving your run-in with Sin, 'twould be a shame if something happened now.
And it's
Who are
like,
Luzu and Gata, Crusaders.
Huh? Cruise of what?
What, you forgot that too? Hey, sorry. Don't worry about it. I'll help you out.
Cool. In return, come tournament time, I'll make sure we take the cup.
Cool. About the Crusaders, you can ask them yourself. They got a lodge in a village.
so, you know, down to the last little detail about what makes this game so special, being every detail. Even the fiends are like motivated. They're explained like plot-wise. Like they have a reason to exist and be there. They're like a purposeful part of the world that makes sense. Whereas in
Besaid village.
in
got any
Final
food
Fantasy
here?
games prior,
We'll
and in
get you
games in
something
general,
over there
really,
later.
but especially
Take a
Final
look
Fantasy
around
games, is the
first.
comparison point. Fiends are just there, right? They just exist.
see.
They're just part of the world.
The Crusaders
Yeah.
lodge is over yonder. Luzu and Gata are usually there.
But here the explanation is, of course, all related to sin and
Alright.
people dying and being unsent, and, you know, it's all, you know.
Over here.
Huh? What's up?
You do remember the prayer, right?
Of course I'd never prayed before in my life. Not that he would know that.
You must have forgot or something. Here, I'll show you. Go ahead, you try. Not bad. Okay, now, go present yourself to the temple summoner.
Any blitzball player would know that prayer. It was the blitzball sign for victory.
I don't know if it starts now. Oh, no, he's not the guy. But I don't know if it starts now, but... No, not quite yet. Right, because you're not on the pilgrimage yet, yeah, of course. But once you're with the summoner, like, it's such a cool aspect of this game, is once you're with a summoner... everyone just showers you with gifts. Like, you get item. You want to talk to every freaking NPC in this game because they all give you stuff, and that's just so cool. That's just so satisfying, right? It's just so satisfying. Again, every detail, but not quite yet. see us go into the temple. Let's do quite a few things. I honestly can't even remember the order, so let's just go in here first. Even though I'm pretty sure this isn't what you do. I think you just go straight into the temple.
Go present yourself
Yeah.
to the temple summoner before we eat, yeah?
Pretty sure he just said that and I wasn't paying attention. You know what? We always miss this, and I want like full story. I want every little detail. This is a long play. This is me enjoying this game. I just never used to do this. Was there a no? It's funny. That's just a cat chilling there. Two cats. But I never used to come up and get the story from them, but you should. It's part of the story.
Hey, you were attacked by Sin, right? Recently, was it?
I think so.
So, Sin can't be far, right? You're not hiding anything, are you?
Why would I?
If Sin's nearby, it'll attack the island for sure. But it hasn't. I wonder why.
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything. To tell the truth, I don't even know what the Crusaders are.
You're kidding, right?
Sin, the toxin. Gotta tell him who we are.
Yes, sir. The Crusaders are sworn to battle Sin. We have chapters throughout Spira, accepting all who wish to join our struggle. The hero Mihen formed the Crusaders 800 years ago as the Crimson Blades. Later, our ranks grew and we called ourselves the Crusaders. We've been fighting Sin ever since.
What? You've been fighting 800 years and you still haven't beat it?
Well, we've steered Sin away from towns many times. And that's all we can do. Nobody's ever been able to defeat it. Our mission as Crusaders is to protect the temples, towns, villages, and people of Spira.
So, then whose job is it to defeat Sin?
Is Sin's toxin really this bad, sir?
It does seem rather bad. We could just tell you, but I think it better for you to try and remember. Go pray at the temple. Perhaps Yevon will help you regain your memory.
He's like, man, I'm not gonna go pray. He's like, come on, bro. I don't even know this place, man. Come on. Just tell me. I'm not from here. I gotta lie about it. Cause I'm from the place y'all are afraid of. Anyway, you know, little details like that. You want to go talk to everyone. You know, get every little thing. You know, it enriches the experience. Oh yeah, I remember something I was talking about earlier. Is I was saying that I view it like you know, like a movie, but an interactive movie nevertheless. But you know, a movie in the sense that I play these games and get the full enjoyment out of them to, you know, get every little
It was
detail out of
then,
it like that.
Standing in that place. I began to realize how different this world was from my own.
Now, in official lore, there's really only a few high summoners, right? There's like 5 of them or something. I always imagined there were at least a few more.
10 years have passed since Lord Braska became High Summoner. And finally, we receive a statue for our temple.
Well, what's a high summoner? I got too close to Sin's toxin. It was funny hearing myself make the same excuse over and over. Funny, and a little sad.
The Summoners are practitioners of a sacred art, sworn to protect the people of Yevon. Only a chosen few become Summoners, who call forth entities of great power, the Aeons. The Aeons hear our prayers and come down to us. They are the blessing of Yevon.
So what he meant was that we should respect some kind of great men or something like that, I figured.
Can't help myself. I always want to go into these places because I'm conditioned to think there's a treasure chest in every one of them. I know there are, obviously, in a couple temples that created the idea, but I cannot remember about these ones. I feel like the ones for sure are like Jose and whatever. No, there's not even one in here either. That's weird. Okay, well, that's that. Jitter walk, jitter walk, jitter walk, jitter, jitter, jitter. All right. Hello? That was weird.
Sorry, man. No time for lunch yet. Take a nap. You look bushed.
You could at least go see how they are doing.
We can't interfere. It's a rule.
But it's been nearly. But it's been nearly.
It's been nearly a day already.
Perhaps you could go look for us.
People are searching for him now.
Thank you.
Who cares whether he comes back or not?
But he might die.
Fine, let him.
Do you hate him so? But if he dies, you'll never be able to tell him how much you hate him.
Wonderful flashback. That ringing a sound effect that they utilize for them. Flashbacks, wonderful. Or it's not even always just a flashback. Sometimes it's just like you know, just like a transition, like a departure to somewhere else, mentally or physically.
Is something wrong?
The summoner hasn't returned from the trial.
Eh?
Well, apprentice summoner, really.
Huh?
There's a room in there called the Cloister of Trials. Beyond is where the apprentice summoner prays. If the prayer is heard, the apprentice becomes a fully fledged summoner. Remember?
So someone is in there somewhere and they haven't come back out. Right, I got it.
A day's already gone by.
Is it particularly dangerous in there?
Sometimes, yes.
Why don't you go in and help?
There's already guardians in there. Besides, it's forbidden.
Hey, but what if something happens? What if the summoner dies?
The precepts must be obeyed.
Like I care. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all.
Oh, ye old... Oh, late night here. I'm a little tired. Ye old Cloister of Trials. Everyone's favorite part of Final Fantasy X. Mine, not favorite, but definitely unironically, you know, enjoy it. I think people tend to give the cloister, a lot of hate, and it's like, dude, come on, it's fun. I mean, I say that now. To be fair, when I was a kid, I didn't enjoy them, just like anyone else. I felt like they kind of had like a, you know, it was just like a break in pace, like a jarring break in pace where you just want to move along and you know, whatever. But it's like, looking back at it now, I just wouldn't have it any other way, you know? It's like the developers knew and appreciated it, you know? It's just gamers, they just weren't, I don't know. You know, to be fair, again, there's a good perspective coming from everywhere, right? It's like, they made such a good game that to like take them away from it to do this in a different format, like a puzzle solving thing, it's a little weird or whatever, but you know, yeah, I just think it's great. I love it. Okay, now here's the thing. So that's the destruction sphere. I just want to make sure I just get it in one go. Oh wait, don't you just have to come back to Besaid? I'm pretty sure Besaid is the one... No. You get the item. You get the item for sure. What's funny about this Cloister of Trials is it's just such a joke, you know? It's just so easy. Oh, that's the destruction sphere. Okay. Was that just a recess in there? Boy, I couldn't even remember. Yeah. So... Oh. Weird. Yeah, I'm like overthinking it right now. I had it right mentally, but no, you put the Besaid sphere in there first, being silly. But yeah, it's like, oh, I hate the you know, Cloister. I remember even as a kid, I guess I'm gonna say that like a million times during this run through, but because it's the most nostalgic game for me. But as a kid, it's like even this first Cloister Trials felt like pretty long. It was like this process. Dude, it literally is like 2 minutes. In fact, if I didn't make that mistake just now, picking the sphere up and bringing it to the wrong spot preemptively, it would take 30 seconds, man. And it's like most Cloister of Trials are like that. Like even the most convoluted, ridiculous one, which is Bevel, it's not that long and ridiculous, you know? Even though the Bevel one it's got this weird mechanic to it where it's like, okay, whatever. But if it weren't for that, it still would be fairly short. And all of them are just generally short. I always feel like when I was a kid, I'd gear up and I'd be like, oh god, here we go, Cloister Trials, get comfortable, get your snacks out. And it's like, dude, no. You don't need to get your snacks out. It's over before you know it. But this one especially, I mean, we're already done. We're already done. Picking up our bonus item. You always gotta make sure you get these, because unlike with my run through of 12, I am definitely gonna do, and I like 100% I'm gonna do some side quest stuff. Especially just getting the other Aeons. That's the primary. He wouldn't grab the pedestal for some reason. He was just sitting there awkwardly. Kill.
Hey! What's gotten into you? Hey, it's okay. Only summoners, apprentice summoners, and their guardians can enter here. It's a tradition, very important.
So what about you?
Me? I'm a guardian.
A guardian?
And they didn't really explain it properly, but all Walker meant earlier was that he can't go into the summoner's den, the chamber of the faith.
One of them's got a sure fuse, and who knows what the other's thinking. Well, now that we come this far, might as well go all the way.
The hymn of the faith is also just wonderful.
What are you doing here? Didn't think we'd be able to handle it.
No, it's just... See, I told you she gets mad easy.
Oh, Lulu, she's such a wonderful character. She's the best.
Is the summoner
Kimari's
all
great
right?
too. I mean, they're all amazing. But
Who are you?
I've done it. I have become a summoner.
perfect.
Man, was I surprised. And here I was thinking summoners were all old geezers.
It's a way of saying something without saying anything. I love that. There's just like blowing, gesturing in front of his face, like, whoa.
Hey, over here.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh good.
Ah, ow!
Wait till you see this.
I can't see anything.
Ready?
Okay.
I always pronounce his name Valfor. Could be Valfor, but Valfor. Sounds much better. Truly
I'd
amazing.
never seen anything like it in my life. Sure, it was a little scary, but still, I could feel a strange kind of gentleness coming from it. I remember, that night, we talked for the first time. I didn't know it then, but after that night, everything changed. For everyone. For me.
Let me introduce you to the team. This guy here wants into the tournament so bad, I let him on the team. His memory's a little fuzzy, so don't mind him if he says anything odd. Come on, say hi.
Hi guys. So what's our goal?
To do our best! Nope, we got a new
Just
goal
the
now.
disgust.
Our new goal is victory! To win every match, defeat every opposing team, to bring the Crystal Cup back to our island. That's all we need to do to win. Easy, huh?
Victory! 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 Victory!
Such a great scene. People like made memes about it. It's wonderful. Actually, speaking of memes, it's not just that, but it's this right here.
You heathen!
Stay away from the summoner.
You're a bad man!
Lady Una, be careful.
But it was really my fault to begin with.
Oh.
Mina,
Oh,
thank
wonderful!
you so
I
much
love
for
it.
your help earlier.
Huh? I'm sorry about that. Wasn't I not supposed to? Guess I kind of overreacted.
Oh no, I was overconfident.
I saw that Aeon thing. That's amazing.
Really? Do you think I can become High Summoner?
Yeah, definitely.
Lady Una?
100%.
Play with me some more.
I don't even know what that is. But you can do it.
So, tomorrow then.
Tomorrow?
We're going on the same boat, aren't we?
Oh, really?
We can talk more.
Huh.
You can tell me all about Zanarkand.
Zanarkand? What?
She's cute, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't get no ideas.
No promises there, big guy. Hey, but what if she, comes on to me?
That's not gonna happen.
That's not going to happen.
No chance, man.
If you get tired, let me know. I had a bed made for you.
I love how he's like, that's not gonna happen.
Stay away from the summoner!
I just can't help myself.
Stay away from the summoner!
Glorious. Okay. Yeah, I think everyone loves that. That's just universally loved. Not really. I'm a night owl. You know, I love to party. I love to whatever. But I guess you know I gotta move the plot forward. I am the protagonist after all. Oh, but this scene's really good though. Very, very, very good. I remember I didn't, you know, first time playing that, I was like, I just sat there for so long, didn't realize I had control of the character.
Everyone will find us if it doesn't come soon.
You really sure this is okay?
Would you take me to Zanarkand?
Hey! You said you'd go with me!
Oh, hey,
I thought Waka told you not to get any ideas.
He did?
Yeah, so you're coming with me.
Hey, stop dreaming! You with a woman? You can't even catch a ball! Oh, what's the matter? Gonna cry again? Cry. That's the only thing you're good for.
I hate you.
Huh? What'd you say?
You have to speak loudly.
I hate you!
Huh?
That's the spirit.
You can do it!
I hate you!
He's dead, okay? Dead.
does look a lot like Chapu. I was surprised too, the first time I saw him.
They even have dialogue
No
over
matter
the
what he looks like,
cutscenes.
he isn't Chapu. You shouldn't have brought him here in the first place.
Yeah, but he needed our help.
Excuses again?
Yeah, but...
That's it. No more. Enough, Waka.
Look at the stars. Like, just imagine how profoundly beautiful their world is.
Scary. So, who's Chapu?
My little brother, Chapu. He looked like you.
He's dead?
He was with the Crusaders when they fought Sin last year. He didn't make it. I first heard on the day of the tournament.
Oh, so that's why.
I became a guardian to fight Sin, yeah?
Revenge, then?
That was the idea. I'm more worried about a stupid game now than avenging my brother. Well, after the next tournament, I'll be a guardian full-time. I know it kinda looks like I'm using you, but I'm not.
Don't worry. I mean, I owe you a lot. You really helped me out, you know? What I mean is... Thanks, Waka.
Stop. You're embarrassing me.
It's like they're both just like kids, you know? That was a very mature moment for Titus, you know? He's already growing and he's just still new here. Alright, unfortunately it's late where I'm at. That's where I gotta leave off. I normally like to record for at least a few hours. Or play even for just a few hours, so... We'll leave off here. We'll call this part 1. Final Fantasy X. Best game ever. I'm excited to play some more. Alright, that's that. I am Bren the OK. Thanks for watching.